Dyke, exhausted and barely able to stand, stumbles into the palace, carrying the lifeless body of Elizabeth and Princess Precious over his shoulder. The palace guards, recognizing him, quickly sense the urgency in his steps, but say nothing as they escort him to the king. Inside the grand hall, King David stands free from the spell that once controlled him, his face filled with concern as Dyke approaches. Without hesitation, Dyke lowers Elizabeth's body to the ground, his voice heavy with sorrow. He explains that the spell controlling the king has been broken, but the price paid was Elizabeth's life. As he speaks, his voice falters, and the weight of the loss becomes clear. King David's expression softens, his heart sinking as he gazes at Elizabeth, realizing the sacrifice she made to save them all. The room falls into a deep, sorrowful silence as the king softly acknowledges her bravery. Elizabeth, once the closest of friends with Princess Amaka, made the ultimate sacrifice to save the kingdom. In a selfless act of courage, she gave her life to break the spell that had held King David captive, freeing him from its dark influence. Her death sent waves of grief through the palace, especially touching Dyke, who was deeply affected. Though their bond was brief, Elizabeth had grown close to him during their journey, and her loss left a heavy weight on his heart. The sacrifice she made was not just for the king, but for everyone in the kingdom, and the impact of her death was felt by all, especially Dyke, who struggled to come to terms with the fact that he couldn't save her in time. Amaka found herself trapped in an emotional whirlwind, torn between her love for Dyke and the painful reality of her family's turmoil. Her heart ached as she struggled to understand her sister Precious's betrayal, a wound that cut deep into the fabric of their once close bond. As the weight of her family's downfall bore down on her, tensions with Dyke added to her inner conflict. While she loved him deeply, the events surrounding her sister and the kingdom left her questioning everything, including her relationship with him. Amaka's sorrow was palpable as she juggled the heartbreak of her sister's actions and the strain it caused with Dyke, unsure of how to heal both wounds. Princess Precious stood defiantly, her eyes filled with a cold, unyielding gaze. The truth of her betrayal had finally come to light. She had turned against the royal family, driven by years of resentment. Always living in the shadow of her sister Amaka, Precious's jealousy had grown into a burning hatred, fueling her rebellion. No longer willing to be overlooked, she sought power for herself, caring little for the consequences. Her lack of remorse was chilling. She didn't flinch at the devastation her actions caused. For Precious, this betrayal wasn't just about revenge. It was her way of claiming the recognition she felt she deserved, no matter the cost. As the throne room fell into a profound silence, an oppressive stillness enveloped the grand space. King David's voice sliced through the tension, delivering his decree with a cold finality that echoed off the ornate walls. "Princess Precious," he pronounced, "you are hereby exiled for your treason and conspiracy." The words hung heavily in the air, each syllable a weighty reminder of the consequences of betrayal. Amaka, standing at the edge of the dais, could hardly bear the sight of her sister's face. She reached out, her voice trembling as she uttered desperate pleas for mercy, but her words fell on deaf ears. The king's decision was resolute, unyielding to the anguish that radiated from Amaka's eyes. Yet, despite the gravity of the situation, Princess Precious stood tall, her posture unwavering, a stark contrast to the chaos swirling around her. Unbothered by the impending punishment, she wore a cold smirk, an expression of defiance that hinted at her inner strength. In that moment, she felt a strange sense of liberation. Exile, in her mind, was not merely a punishment, but an escape from the suffocating expectations and constraints imposed by her royal lineage. She had long grown weary of the gilded cage of palace life, where every choice was scrutinized and every action weighed against the family legacy. With a deliberate movement, Precious turned her back on the throne room, leaving behind the life that had cast a long shadow over her spirit. As she strode out, the door swung shut behind her, sealing her fate and cutting her off from the world she had known. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit chamber, far removed from the throne room's splendor, Dyke sat alone, the weight of his thoughts pressing down on him like a physical burden. Shadows danced across the walls, reflecting the turmoil within him. Nightmares of Elizabeth's tragic death haunted him relentlessly, each replay of her final moments, a dagger to his heart. He had been loyal to Amaka, a steadfast protector in the face of adversity, yet the growing attachment he felt toward Elizabeth tugged at his conscience, intertwining with the grief that now enveloped him. This internal conflict gnawed at him, pushing him further into a self-imposed isolation. In the days following Elizabeth's passing, he found solace in solitude, retreating from the vibrant connections he had once cherished. He couldn't face Amaka yet, not while the echoes of Elizabeth's laughter still haunted him, not while the memory of her smile could still bring both warmth and unbearable pain. Amaka stood by the window, her gaze lost in the horizon, where the sun dipped below the edge of the kingdom. Her mind swirled with doubt and hesitation, thoughts colliding like storm clouds. She had noticed the subtle but unmistakable change in Dyke, the way he had withdrawn into himself since Elizabeth's death. Though he had reassured her countless times that their relationship remained his top priority, there was an unspoken truth in the depths of his eyes that contradicted his words. A flicker of uncertainty ignited within her, whispering suspicions that he had developed deeper feelings for Elizabeth during their shared trials. The thought pierced her heart, igniting a quiet fury mixed with sorrow. This gnawing suspicion consumed her thoughts, making her question not only Dyke's loyalty, but also the very foundation of their bond. Though she yearned to trust him completely, a persistent fear lingered in the corners of her mind, one that whispered that Elizabeth's memory might have imprinted itself upon Dyke in a way she could never hope to erase. Amaka's heart ached with the weight of her insecurities, the fear of being overshadowed by a ghost, a memory that would forever loom over their relationship like a dark cloud. She pressed her forehead against the cool glass of the window, feeling the chill seep into her skin, mirroring the coldness that threatened to creep into her heart. As the sun set, casting the world in hues of orange and purple, both Precious and Dyke stood at the precipice of their fates, bound by their choices and haunted by their pasts. The kingdom itself seemed to hold its breath, a fragile balance, teetering on the edge of upheaval, with love, loyalty, and betrayal woven intricately into the fabric of their lives. The weight of leadership hung heavy on King David as he delivered his daughter's sentence, his voice steady but his heart torn. Precious's betrayal had fractured the royal family, leaving scars that exile alone couldn't heal. Elizabeth's sacrifice lingered like a shadow over the palace, her death having saved the king, but at a cost that none could forget. Dyke, still haunted by Elizabeth's final moments, struggled with his own inner turmoil, pushing Amaka away as unresolved feelings took root. Amaka, torn between her loyalty to Dyke and the tension caused by his attachment to Elizabeth, grappled with doubt and heartbreak. The kingdom stood on uneasy ground, with personal and royal consequences intertwining, leaving a lingering sense of loss and a tension that refused to fade. The central relationship in the story revolves around Amaka and Dyke, showcasing their evolving bond as they embark on a journey together filled with trials and revelations. From the beginning, Dyke expresses his deep commitment to Amaka, emphasizing that she means everything to him. His sincerity shines through as he assures her of his unwavering support, inviting her to trust in the strength of their connection. As they navigate their path, Amaka grapples with her complicated feelings towards Elizabeth, whose past betrayal has left her heart heavy with resentment and sadness. This emotional turmoil creates an internal conflict for Amaka as she struggles to reconcile her lingering anger with her desire for closure and understanding. Amaka reflects on their history, recognizing how Elizabeth's actions have impacted not only her life but also the dynamics of her relationship with Dyke. Despite the bitterness that clouds her memories, there's a flicker of hope and a desire for forgiveness within Amaka's heart. She understands that forgiveness is not just about Elizabeth, but also about freeing herself from the weight of past grievances. Dyke, aware of the complexities of Amaka's emotions, gently encourages her to embrace the strength that comes with forgiveness. He reminds her that letting go of past hurts is a powerful choice, one that can lead to personal growth and deeper connections. As they continue their journey, Amaka longs to find clarity in her feelings and is determined to confront her complicated emotions toward Elizabeth. The bond between Amaka and Dyke deepens as they share their thoughts and fears, fostering an environment of openness and vulnerability. Dyke becomes not just a companion, but also a confidant, allowing Amaka to express her feelings without fear of judgment. Together, they prepare to face the challenges ahead, with Dyke standing firmly by her side, ready to support her as she seeks to reconcile her past. The journey serves as a catalyst for Amaka's transformation, pushing her to confront not only her feelings for Elizabeth, but also her own self-worth. As she navigates the path toward healing, the lessons she learns alongside Dyke shape her understanding of love, friendship, and the importance of compassion. Ultimately, their shared experiences deepen their bond, setting the stage for Amaka's path toward healing and understanding. Through their connection, they both learn that true strength lies in the ability to forgive, to seek redemption, and to embrace the complexities of their emotions while building a future together. Amaka and Dyke's journey into the Agba evil forest serves as a powerful metaphor for their quest for clarity and understanding, both within themselves and in their relationship with each other. As they venture deeper into the forest, the physical journey mirrors their emotional exploration, revealing the complexities of their feelings and the dynamics of their bond. Each step they take through the dense, ominous trees becomes a reflection of their innermost thoughts and fears, pushing them to confront the truths they may have been avoiding. The trials set by the Guardian of Paths add a layer of intensity to their journey, challenging not only their physical endurance, but also their self-understanding and the depth of their connection. Each character faces individual tests that force them to look inward and confront their vulnerabilities. For Dyke, the challenge may involve acknowledging his fears of inadequacy and the weight of his commitment to Amaka. Meanwhile, Amaka grapples with her own insecurities and the emotional scars from her past, particularly regarding her feelings towards Elizabeth. As they navigate these trials, they begin to unravel the layers of their identities, discovering the strengths they possess and the emotional barriers that have held them back. These encounters in the forest push Amaka and Dyke to articulate their feelings for one another, revealing the depth of their affection and the fears that linger beneath the surface. The trials become a catalyst for growth as they learn to rely on each other, fostering a deeper sense of trust and vulnerability. Through their shared experiences, they begin to understand that clarity and understanding are not merely destinations to reach, but ongoing journeys that require introspection, honesty, and, ultimately, the courage to confront their fears. As they emerge from the Agba evil forest, they not only gain insight into their relationship, but also emerge as more complete individuals, ready to embrace whatever lies ahead together. Amaka's willingness to sacrifice her own desires for the greater good beautifully illustrates a central theme of selflessness that runs throughout the narrative. Faced with the opportunity to fulfill her own wish, she instead chooses to use it to restore Elizabeth, a decision that speaks volumes about her maturity and compassion. This act not only reflects her deep understanding of the value of relationships, but also highlights her ability to prioritize the needs of others over her own. It becomes a pivotal moment in the story, showcasing Amaka's character growth as she grapples with the complexities of her feelings and the weight of past betrayals. The script powerfully conveys the theme of forgiveness, particularly through the heartfelt reconciliation between Amaka and Elizabeth. Their shared history is marred by pain and betrayal. Yet Amaka stands at a pivotal moment, faced with a choice that could alter the course of their relationship. In a world where wounds often fester and resentments linger, Amaka's decision to embrace the possibility of a second chance shines like a beacon of hope. This act of forgiveness is not merely a gesture, it signifies her profound desire to mend the bonds that were once frayed and broken, highlighting her capacity for personal growth and healing. The narrative intricately explores the transformative power of forgiveness, illustrating that while the past may shape our identities, it does not have to dictate our futures. Amaka's journey toward reconciliation with Elizabeth serves as a poignant reminder that forgiveness is a conscious choice, one that requires courage and vulnerability. As Amaka acknowledges the hurt she has endured, she simultaneously recognizes Elizabeth's own struggles and regrets, fostering an environment ripe for empathy. This mutual understanding forms the foundation of their reconciliation, emphasizing that healing often begins with compassion and an open heart. Through their reunion, the story delves into the profound impact of this act of forgiveness, highlighting the strength it takes to let go of old grievances and embrace a new beginning. Amaka's choice to move forward with Elizabeth is a testament to the enduring power of love, showing that even the most shattered relationships can be rebuilt when both parties are willing to confront their pasts. It underscores the importance of second chances, illustrating that the path to redemption is paved with acceptance and understanding. In this way, the narrative transcends a mere tale of personal sacrifice. It becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unbreakable bonds that can form when love prevails. The characters' journeys are marked by significant personal growth, particularly Amaka's. Throughout her evolution, she comes to a profound realization. Her worth is not defined by her appearance or the judgments of others, but rather by her true self and the love she harbors for those around her. This revelation marks a turning point in Amaka's character arc as she sheds the insecurities that once clouded her self-perception. In the face of trials and tribulations, she learns to embrace her authentic self, understanding that her strength lies in her ability to love fiercely and unconditionally. The script poignantly captures this transformation, illustrating how her experiences with Dyke, Elizabeth, and the challenges they navigate together help her recognize the deeper qualities that make her unique and valuable. As Amaka evolves, she becomes a symbol of hope and resilience, inspiring those around her to seek their own paths to forgiveness and self-acceptance. The narrative beautifully weaves together themes of compassion, redemption, and the enduring power of love, inviting the audience to reflect on their own relationships and the potential for growth that lies within forgiveness. Ultimately, Amaka's journey is not just about reconciling with Elizabeth. It is about embracing her identity, acknowledging her worth, and understanding that true strength comes from loving others while also learning to love oneself. The narrative culminates in a grand royal wedding that symbolizes not only the celebration of love, but also the acceptance of their individual journeys. This moment serves as a powerful testament to the idea that love and friendship are built on genuine connections rather than superficial qualities. The wedding becomes a joyful occasion that honors their growth and the strength of their bonds, emphasizing that true beauty lies in the authenticity of relationships. As Amaka and Dyke stand together, surrounded by friends and family, the script conveys a sense of unity and fulfillment, highlighting the importance of embracing one's true self and the profound impact of love that transcends appearances. If you enjoyed Amaka's story, you can let us know in the comments below what lessons you learned from this story. You can also share your thoughts on how you liked the story series. Don't forget to like and subscribe while commenting. Thank you.